Night edition of Stimulus Today. Big stimulus checks are available to millions of Americans. These stimulus checks are currently paying 18 months of stimulus checks. 300 different stimulus checks available today on this channel. $300,000 of possible stimulus checks. Currently paying out about 18 months of stimulus checks. $3,000 in stimulus checks per month, and about 5 stimulus checks per month. We have a lot of updates tonight that came in after the market closed. I want to go over them first, right with you, and then we'll go into a little bit of commentary because that's how I do it on LA Late Night. I never hold it back. This is your live show where you can jump in the live chat, post your comments and questions, and I don't hold back at all. First, Lululemon reported corporate earnings after the close. The apparel yoga company. It beat on top and bottom, but it says that the problems going forward for this quarter, fourth quarter, the end of 2022, are not good. They say it's going to be a very, very difficult time. Let me see if I can pull up the quote for what they're dealing with the macroeconomics of this economy. DocuSign also reported after the close tonight. DocuSign is up in after hours trading as much as 16% after it beat on top and bottom. Again, uh, DocuSign, which is an online way to sign contracts, very very popular uh, website I use a lot. It is up 16% after it beat on top and bottom. Now, one of the things that I want to go over with you is very important because we've been talking about December 13th and December 14th. We have not talked about Friday. So on Friday, the producer price index is released. And I've not mentioned that, so I want to go over that right now. The producer price index is released, and that is the sister and brother to the CPI, the consumer price index, which you know is being released on the 13th. The producer price index is what the wholesaler pays for the goods, like the supermarket, and generally they both go up in unison. So we're getting the PPI, the producer price index, first tomorrow. And what is the current consensus? The current consensus is that the November PPI for the economy will be up 0.2% compared to the prior month of October, and will be up year to date 7.2%. Here we go. Another 7-8% inflation number. It's just not changing, folks. J Powell hasn't gotten inflation down. Where was it in October? In October, the PPI was up 0.2% compared to the prior month, and up 8% year to date. So hasn't really improved. 0.2 to 0.2 this month, point at 8% year to date last month, and this month up 7.6. Let me jump in the live chat right now. I forgot that I have to click it, jump in the live chat. Let me share. Tell everyone I am now live. Live, and I will put some fire behind that. Little fire emoji. One of the great functions of the live, which you're currently watching right now, is I can share a message that says, hey, come on in and watch me. And of course, this is one of many different live feeds that LA currently has going on. This is on LA1. Also on LA1 is LA Live, which is on fire tonight. On channel 2 is LA Late show for live viewership called Stimulus Live, and on channel 3 right now is Wall Street Live. So you're watching one of 4 different live shows. Of course, it's currently just a little bit after 7 o'clock on the West Coast, so Street and Stimulus has just aired, or just started to air. So the producer price index showing more inflation. Wow. Producer price index showing more inflation, and a lot of it, 7.2%, shows that J Powell's not got inflation down. So takeaway, inflation has not peaked. It has softened a little bit, but it has not peaked. 8% to 7.2, that's nothing to celebrate. So going into next week, it's likely that the CPI says the same thing as well. Wow. One of the things I'm hitting really hard on the stimulus checks today, which is important to remember for stimulus checks, is that once you're approved, it's automatic for that organization. So once you're approved for stimulus checks this month, Next month, it'll come automatically. Let's go over an example. If you get approved for 18 months of rent, just the rent check alone, we're just talking about rent as this example, then each month you get that rent check automatically. It's that easy. You can't get two rent checks, so you can't get rent paid from two different organizations. You can only get one rent check. Like utilities. If you get utilities paid, all five of your utilities, let's say you have five of them, you're getting five checks automatically. So once you get approved, you don't have to do anything. It's automatic stimulus every month. And then if you're missing some months, then go get that from another organization or reapply for those as well, like retroactive or forward into future months. It's the beauty of stimulus. 18 months of stimulus checks, five stimulus checks per month, and about $3,000 of stimulus checks. If you're in the live chat, post any questions you have, and I will interact with you. It's a big night. Now, Lululemon's having big problems or predicting big problems. Let me tell you what Lululemon said minutes ago. Lululemon is down 5%, excuse me, down 7% in aftermarket trading right now after the market is closed when it gave very weak expectations for the fourth quarter. They beat on top and bottom. Of course, Lululemon is that beloved apparel yoga wearing business, but it really had major concerns for the markets today, as they said, fourth quarter is going to be have an issue, and that is the latest of companies that say December's not going to be good. Fourth quarter, of course, is December right now. Let me tell you what Lululemon said minutes ago in its earnings call with analysts. CEO Calvin McDonald on an earnings call with analysts minutes ago, that's the head of Lululemon, said, "We recognize the external environment remains challenging with several high volume weeks still in front of us." Translation, we may not have a lot of people buying stuff with these big important weeks of the month of December. We saw that in that report tonight on Evenings LA. If you missed it, it's currently airing on all three channels. That report came in, I called it Shop to You Chop. That was my title for it, Shop to You Chop. We thought that the holiday sales numbers for Black Friday were really robust. They were not. They were actually relatively weak. And now we have reports that says December is going to be really bad. Now, if you did not shop to You Chop yet, well, so there's good news for you. The good news is there could be major, major discounts before Christmas because they did not get the consumers into the stores. This is especially for stores, brick and mortar, more than online. The reports coming in today from Chief Economist Jan Hasser says that it looks like November was really bad, that sales were 2% down compared to the month of October. So November, hey, Crayola Condo King, how are you? We're down 2% compared to the month of October, and they're saying December could be even worse. So Black Friday did not work, did not bring people in the stores. Black Friday was actually less sales volume than the month of Halloween. Not good. And number two, we have Lululemon's CEO tonight saying, you know what? December's going to be a big problem for us. I'm doing great. How are you, bud? I'm great. How are you doing? Last night I got heat from one viewer because I talked about cheese. Did you see that in the live chat last night, Karela? At some point, I think we are talking about inflation, and I mentioned cheese, and I said, "How do I tell if cheese is old or new?" And then the viewer said, "Why am I a member to learn about cheese?" I said, "I'm not here to teach about cheese. I just went on a tangent to talk about cheese for a second." Yeah, it was very cheesy, says Karela. Karela Condo Cheese Man. So there you go. Um, what is going on with this lamp tonight? It's making me look like I am. I don't know. The lighting's very bizarre tonight. Who cares? It was very cheesy. Yeah, the viewer was furious. I talked about cheese last night. Just furious. It was hysterical. Um, so Lululemon saying fourth quarter is going to be really bad. The Economist saying fourth quarter is going to be very bad. So, what does that mean for you? First, if you haven't done your Christmas shopping, you're in good shape because apparently they're going to really, really discount their feet off between now and Christmas Eve because they did not get people into the stores. This is especially the stores more than the online. The online did decent. It was up month to year to date, not as much as usually goes up. All right, let's turn back to stimulus. As you know, this is the show in which I do not hold back. I say stuff that is really opinionated. Perhaps you don't like my opinion. Maybe it's a little bit too much tough love. But this is the show in which I really deliver tough opinions for the economy and your stimulus. Tonight, I talk about um, external elements. It's been pretty good so far. The angst over stimulus has actually been quite good. Hey, Dragon, how are you? Hope your husband is doing quite well as well. It's the external elements of stimulus have improved. One of the two things I want to go over with you is one, the concept of people who believe that stimulus should just be sent out to anyone, and that you don't have to do anything for stimulus. And the second thing I want to go over is people who rely upon something, in their local news. He's still freaked out. Hey, Mary, how are you? So, the first thing to understand is that I saw the Facebook people are just crazy. I got your message, but was getting ready to go on a condo. Go on a condo? Wow, this late? Oh, so you're paying really late. Um, the the people on Facebook are crazy. I mean, the people on Facebook are literally crazy. They don't do anything. They sit around and they literally just swirl like wackos and crazy. No kidding, wackos. Facebook is just crazy people, just really crazy people. And among the crazy comments they write are things like, um, one of the crazy comments they write is that if Congress cared, they'd send out automatic stimulus checks for everyone. That's crazy. That's crazy because they're saying that they're not saying, $600 checks. They're saying $50,000 automatic stimulus checks. If Congress really cared, they'd send out $50,000 stimulus checks to every walking American. No, if Congress really did not care about you, they'd send out $50,000 stimulus checks to all Americans because the U.S. government will go bankrupt. We can't, as a country, can't send out $50,000 stimulus checks to every person that walks on this planet. I mean, what are we talking about here? That's crazy. Number two, there is people who need stimulus and people who don't need stimulus. And how do we differentiate them? In the past, we've differentiated them based upon income levels: 75,000 less single individual, married couple, 150,000 less. That was one of the two ways we differentiate them among them. But we also don't know what type of stimulus they need. And so some people who make 150,000 or less, married couple, they don't need stimulus. Um, for example, let's say you don't own a home. Why would I send you home stimulus if you don't need a home? Why would I send you rent stimulus if you don't rent? So I don't know what you need. And the federal government should be sending $50,000 out to every single person. That's crazy. So it's important to understand that there's crazy people out there. There are crazy people out there. And they literally have the audacity to say that the federal government should send them $50,000 of free stimulus for everyone. Everyone. Um, it's crazy. And I got to tell you, I'm so proud of you and the Purple Power family. I'm very, very proud of you because the number of crazy people is literally like this now. And the number of you is like this. The number of you is like this. I would put my hands wider, but you would not be able to see my hands in the screen. The people work hard. Crayola just said he's going to go work on a condo now. I mean, it's 7 o'clock at night on the West Coast. I mean, he's not on the West Coast. He's clearly on the West Coast. He's somewhere else. So people work hard. I mean, I'm up recording at sunrise. It's 7 o'clock at night right now. I'm recording right now. I have three live streams going. I have this one, there's a fourth, and I have a tape show going. They don't just appear. It takes time to get them up there. Imagine how much work I do to get them in there. And then someone comes around and says, just send me $50,000. You're lazy. And here is what's important to understand is that those people hate being called lazy. They're lazy. They're lazy, and I'm fine calling them lazy to their face. They are absolutely as lazy can be, to have the audacity to say that people that take time and patience to apply for checks should get the same thing as people who do nothing. That's lazy. Now, it's one thing to say, okay, if you apply for checks, you get more, and then I get something else. That's not what they're saying. They're not saying you can apply for checks, you can get 50,000, but if I do nothing, I get $600. They're not saying that. They're saying I should get exactly what you do. So the person who spends all the time and effort to apply for checks and gets $50,000 should get the same thing as a person who does nothing. That's lazy, and they really want everyone to do stuff for them. Dragon says people just want other people just give them lots and lots of money. Yeah, we're not a socialist country. We're not. This is not socialism. If you thought the federal government should give you $50,000, then the federal government should take 80% of your pension and should take 90% of your. You should just be all your money should be taken by the federal government, because that's what socialism is. We're not a socialist society. You have to pay for things now. Um, a lot of people who have not done smart things want the federal government to give them money for non-smart decisions. Or they go to the volunteers and ask them to do all the work. Says Corolla, yeah, I mean, the Corolla just wrote, or they go to the volunteers and ask them to do all the work. Yeah, I mean, I had someone, I kid you not, write in the comments and did not post. Does anyone know how to contact LALATE at the beach? Does anyone know how to find him on the beach? That was a little comment. As though I'm like standing at the beach. It's an interesting visual. Does anyone know where he stands at the beach so I can have him get me some stimulus checks? No, that's a check. The check. It's a great. It's I guess the surfboard works. They think I'm always standing at the beach. Um, and I gotta love the way in which people justify their laziness. I worked my entire life. I shouldn't have to work anymore. Okay. Well, if you worked your entire life and you have savings, then you shouldn't need stimulus check. If you worked your entire life and you have no savings, then something went wrong. You didn't work. Maybe you didn't go get a college education. Maybe you just were a high school dropout and you took a $14 an hour job. There's a reason why the situation is there. Maybe you went and bought a house you couldn't pay for. Um, and so, Patty, what is your question? And I'll be able to help you across the board. Why stop working now? Says Dragon. Absolutely. Does retirement mean you just do nothing? Hey, I would love to just watch. Oh, it's Thursday night. Oh, wait, who's playing football? Oh, it's a night. I'm not being facetious. I actually forgot. It's Thursday night. I would love to be watching the Rams and the Raiders right now. I'm on camera. I'm working. I'm working. I'm on camera right now, doing trying to help you. And the Raiders versus Rams are on. I'd love to be watching them. I'm not. And there's Brenda. Hey, Brenda in the live chat. So those people who simply want people to send them out cash automatically, come on. Now, the good thing is that when you apply for stimulus checks, you get them automatically. So if you get 14 months of stimulus checks, you don't have to keep on asking them every single month. They come in for 14 months. If you get 12 months of utilities, you get 12 months of stimulus checks. You just got to do it one time. Just do it one time. What's the big darn complaint? Come on already. Now, the great news is, as I started earlier when we are talking about stimulus, is that it's literally this amount of people that are, I think it was two. I'm not being facetious. It was like two people. It was like two people that had comments about, I shouldn't have to do this. Well, okay, then don't get don't do it. Then don't do it. Um, and that's compared to hundreds of thousands of viewers per day. So it's great how good we're doing. Now, the other thing that cracks me up is, again, usually the crazy people on Facebook, is they say things like, "I'll believe it when I see it." That is one of the. I don't know where that expression came from. I don't know anyone in Los Angeles who used that expression. It must be like Trollville language. I'll believe it when I see it. Good. I don't care what you believe. Someone on Facebook dared to post that in response to one of the video posts on Facebook. I'll believe it when I see it. Good. I don't care what you believe. In fact, I don't want you to get any of the money. I want my viewers to get the money. So they'll get the money, and you can sit back thinking about what you're going to believe. Um, I believe the Tooth Fairy is alive. I don't believe it. Okay, I don't care. I don't care if you don't think the Tooth Fairy is alive. I don't believe that Sasquatch really has big feet. I don't believe. I don't care what you don't believe. So Patty, not very techy. So great question, Patty. So all you need is a cell phone. All you need is a cell phone. You just open the cell phone. You go right in, bounce, right in, bounce, right in, bounce. It's that simple. It's really, really simple. Now, in the case of Check C, you don't even need the cell phone well, you need the cell phone to read what I wrote in the newsletter, but you don't even need the finger after that. You go down in the newsletter, it tells you these are the places you reach out to. You just reach out to them. It's that straightforward. Yeah, I mean, I had someone that on Facebook said it was a held comments, meaning that it was not going to post, but I let it post and I responded to it. I said, he said, I'll believe it when I see it. I said, good. You're never going to see it. In fact, I said, you don't deserve it. You don't deserve it and you'll never see it. And I'm very happy you're not going to get any money. I'm ecstatic that that troll on Facebook's not going to get any money because my viewers are going to get the money. And for the first time, we can celebrate as a community here on the Purple Power where people who do not want to do anything, not going to get anything. People who want to sit back and complain, not going to get anything. And guess what? It's leaving us a lot more money. And we could potentially have many, many, many more months, a lot more stimulus over a long duration of a 2-year recession because of those people that are so darn lazy. I love it. I love it. And finally, people that really disparage other people based upon who they are and that someone else isn't that. It's just crazy. They shouldn't be giving stimulus checks to other people. They should only be giving stimulus checks to these people, blah, blah, blah. It's just all craziness. Again, good. Don't get it. Don't get any. Just go away. Don't get any. Just go away. And then finally, the people that sort of lazy means getting a what's that, gold star? Hey, Mike, how are you? Um, and there's Ionis. Hey, Ionis, where do I fill out the applications? Great question from Michael's Army. So, Michael, you open the newsletter, and Ethel, thank you for becoming a member just minutes ago. And I know it's nice shades. I appreciate it. So, for a question from Michael's Armory, where do I fill out the applications? So, there is in the newsletter, the first few lines is the price of oil tonight, the link to the worksheets, and then lower in the newsletter it says Check A. Click, and it sends you to the Check A application online. That's where you apply. Check B. You go down to Check B, Stimulus Check B, click the link, and you go right in to the Stimulus Check B application. Apply. It's that easy. So check A and B in the newsletter. You go down, you push the button, you push the link, and it sends you right in, and you apply for Check A and for Check B. For Check C, it tells you 12 places you reach out to for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance. So Check C, you pick up the phone. You pick up the phone for those rent, utilities, mortgages, and more. Then checks E through K, lower in the newsletter, they're together, E through K. E, you collect and go in, and it continues then to L and M, N and O, P and Q, all in the newsletter. And as Crayola said, check C and then check Z, and you get some sushi. But he's not Sushi King anymore. He's only Condo King. Or he's moved up in life now. He's condo mansion king. So there you go, Crayola mansion king. And there's Mike Nelson. Hey, Mike, how are you? So check ZZZ is in the house. So let me recap for viewers who are just joining the live chat because now the numbers are starting to zoom up. This is not going to be a long show, just a very short show tonight. First, stimulus checks are available to millions of Americans right now. They have been passed. They were passed in March. The $300,000 of stimulus checks, 300 different checks, checks A, B, C, E through K, L and M, P and Q, M, and M, N, and O, P, and Q. You apply for them in the membership newsletter, which has just been sent out tonight. Again, as it's sent out every night, but it's just been sent out for tonight. You go down, click the link, and go right and apply. The reason why you want to apply is because the news are coming in minutes ago. We have a lot of news. First, Lululemon, the apparel business for yoga clothing and similar, beat on top and beat on bottom in its third quarter corporate earnings release minutes ago. However, the company says fourth quarter is going to have big problems. Fourth quarter is what we are in right now. CEO Calvin McDonald said the following on its earnings call tonight with analysts. We recognize that the current environment, they're referring to the economy, remains challenging with several high volume weeks still in front of us. And there is, Charlie, the way that comment means, or that quote from that CEO means, is that we are worried we're not going to get people into the stores to buy and online in these remaining weeks. This comes on the news of what's featured on the other live shows airing on this channel, which are that November sales in stores were down 0.2% compared to October. So Black Friday was a bust. It did not do well. Black Friday did not do well, and they're worried December is going to be lower than November. We also covered earlier this recording, if you're just joining me, that the producer price index, the PPI, is released tomorrow. And that producer price index will give us an indication of where the CPI will be the day on the 12th. The producer price index is currently predicted to go up 7.6% or 7.2% annualized, which is not good. It was 8% in the prior month, but it's still in the high 7% range. Not good. So there you go. And so with that, have a beautiful evening. Jump onto any of those other three live streams currently airing, especially on this channel, which you're currently watching. LALATE 1's live show is currently airing. And you can also watch Stimulus Live on Channel 2, LA Channel 2, or Wall Street Live on LA Channel 3. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful evening, happy holidays, and stay with LA for more.